girls, so today we're going to go through a couple of ways of assessing whether you're doing your pelvic floor exercises correctly. The best way is to go and get a check with your local women's health physio, but if that isn't available to you, then there are a couple of things you can do at home just to see if you're doing them right. So number one is a visual check. So take a small little handheld mirror and lay back maybe in a reclined sitting position, legs apart, underwear off obviously. Use the handheld mirror down between the legs, and what you're looking for is a perineal wink. This sounds really dodgy, but your perineum is the little bit of skin here between the vagina and the back passage, this skin between here. And when you do a pelvic floor contraction correctly, you should see that skin come up away from the mirror, so almost like a little wink. So that's your first way of checking. This can be quite subtle, particularly if you're weak. So the next way to check would be just to take one finger and place it here onto the perineum and do the same thing again. So draw up the pelvic floor and see, can you feel this muscle underneath here, or the skin underneath here, move away from your finger. So there are two easy ways, I should say, to start with. The next one is to do an internal assessment on yourself. So using one finger or two fingers, they can be gloved or ungloved, use a little bit of lubricant and up inside the vagina. So you can do this in a seated position, maybe on the toilet, in the shower, or in a standing position. An easy way to do it is in what I call the Captain Morgan's pose. So on one leg up, one leg down, insert one finger inside the vagina, and you are looking for a clench around the finger as if the muscles are coming in towards the finger. If you've gone all the way up inside the vagina and you've hooked over the edge, you should feel those muscles when you contract or when you engage your pelvic floor, you should feel those muscles just come up into the finger gently. So that's probably the next best way to check, bar getting a professional assessment. Another way to check though is this little device called the educator. I've used these over the years a few times with patients. Some people love them and some people are not interested, but they're just useful to show people, particularly now when we're in this kind of pandemic time and quarantine and you can't get to somebody. So little devices like this can be useful if you're really struggling. So this is the educator. It is a hard device, so it's not squishy, it's a solid device. You pop a bit of lubricant onto this, it goes inside the vagina, so it sits just inside, same as it was as a tampon would sit inside. And this long bit stays outside the vagina. So when you, sorry, it's better to see it against my top, isn't it? So that's the whole device. This inserts then inside the vagina. The stick stays outside. So you can either maybe in reclined sitting, lie, insert this in, and the little stick will stick up. Then when you do your pelvic floor contraction properly, the stick should move, I always get this wrong, stick should move down, and if you do it incorrectly, the stick will move up. So it can just be a little bit of a visual feedback for people to see whether they're doing them properly or not. I find that quite useful. They're probably about €20 or something like that. You can get them online. So there are a couple of different ways of just checking, are you doing them right or are you doing them wrong? As I said, most people will do them incorrectly when they're told. A lot of people, I shouldn't say most, a lot of people will do them incorrectly when they're told verbally how to do them. And there's lots of different cues. And the research now will actually say that giving people too many cues confuses them. So I suppose the easiest cue is to tell you to stop passing wind, as if you're going to fart and you don't want to. So you draw around your back passage and you lift up. I will do a separate video on cues for pelvic floor, so if it's something that you're really, really struggling with and you want further cues, then just pop over and watch my video on that. But to be honest, don't overcomplicate it. Think about back passage, draw around there and draw up as if you're trying to stop yourself from passing wind. And that can be a really good place to just start trying to engage the pelvic floor and wake it up a little bit. Okay, I hope that helps. Bye.